So, after a long break, it is finally time to say welcome, guys, to the season opener of the One Hub Racing League, Season 17, here in Austria, in Spielberg, for the Red Bull Ring. And once again, I'm not alone, and I'm proud to say that my co-commentator for the whole season will be Minty again. So, welcome back.
And thank you for the warm welcome. I'm really excited for this season. It's going to be a very interesting one. 10 rounds here in Podium tier where, well, in every tier, but it will definitely be a close championship.
Absolutely, we've got new names and some returning names, but we will go through the driver lineup pretty soon. At first, I think we will go through the circuit in just a quick fashion, so we will go through some minor facts. So, as I've mentioned at the beginning, we are here in Austria at the Red Bull Ring, which held the real season opener for the 2020 F1 season. Just a little coincidence. Just a few months ago, I think it was at May, but it was a real showdown back then. I think here today we will see another showdown at the F1 2020 game. And located at Spielberg, it contains 10 corners and the circuit length is 4.318 kilometers. Well, the game says track difficulty is very easy. It is a bit debatable, but we will go through some of the key facts on the circuit in a minute. And the lap record, according to the game, is 1 minute 6.957. Holding the record is Kimi Räikkönen from the year 2018. And first of all, Minty, just to ask you, what's your opinion about this circuit? And do you think the track is really that easy?
Well, on paper, it looks very easy, and definitely, if we had regular corner cutting rules on, it would be a very easy track. But because the drivers and the whole league is running on strict corner cutting rules, it's going to be all about penalties today. The drivers will be on the limit the whole lap, and they just don't want to invalidate their lap because it's super easy to do that on the really wide curbs around this track.
Yes, indeed, and I think we'll see some bit more caution from some of the drivers, and yeah, I think now it's time to go through the driver lineups of the current season. And at Mercedes, we have a mix of new and old. So, yeah, just as a bit of an exaggeration. So we have Vitinho, who returns from last season. He finished the season as a disqualified driver. Well, maybe this year he might improve and he might, yeah, not be disqualified this time. And we have a Belgian here in the form of White Fountain. Minty, do you have some facts about him?
Well, yes, I do. I have a lot of facts. He was the Season 14 Precision tier World Drivers Champion and Constructors Champion, and he has the most wins in this year with 17.
Well, that sounds pretty interesting, so let's have an eye on him. I will just jump to the champions of last season, Racing Point. They have a completely new lineup, and as you can see, the lineup is a lineup contains two drivers you've seen at the last season. So first of all, we have Estimats. He dropped Red Bull last season, and he finished the season in P9. He was, let's say, a bit quiet, but he made some good positions during races, so maybe he will continue this streak this season again. And his teammate will be Rich 500, who also had a quiet season. He didn't really have the pace, but there's always a chance to turn things around, and he finished last season P11.
Yes. It wasn't the best seasons for the two of them. Both got outshined by their teammates quite considerably, in my opinion. Of course, Zipa was Estimat's teammate. He lost the fight with his teammate by 30 points, and then Cam won the rivalry with Rich 500 as they were teammates by 26 points, so a lot of catching up for the Racing Point drivers to do, and it could be a really interesting season for them.
Agreed. And I will just jump to another team. We go to Red Bull, to one of our sponsors. I will always start mentioning them. So I'll start with Liam RBS. He will sponsor the trophies for this season. And as a support to the prizes, we have Vespertine. And just as a little, little mention, we have Liam normally streaming his races on Twitch. But as I've read a tweet, he won't do this today. So you can see the view from his teammate Tribe97. I think both drivers are new to this podium tier, at least in comparison to last season.
Yes, they are, and Liam very optimistic about the season. He says that he wants to win the Constructors' Championship with his teammate. So, very optimistic from them too. I'm not sure their pace in podium tier, but we'll see what happens throughout the season.
Yes, and also he kinda is happy to be in this tier, but he felt like he could do a bit more. But overall should be a fun season according to him. So, Minty, any lineup we should mention as well?
I wanted to mention the Ferrari lineup of Zipa and Kong Hofner, two returnees from the podium tier. Zipa with probably a step up from his team last season. He was in the Red Bull, which we just talked about. And then Kong Hofner with a big step up, if I'm not mistaken. He was in the Haas F1 team, so still the same engine supplier. And it's a big step up from him. And I don't think it is the best lineup that Ferrari could have picked, but I hope they prove me wrong.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how these two will fare. And I think today they're not even here, as I think they haven't selected the car or aren't even in the lobby. So you might not see a Ferrari today, which is a big shame. And it also means that one of the premium drivers, so Kong Hofner, won't be here.
Yeah, really big shame we won't be seeing the Ferraris here. According to Johannes, that was the worst pronunciation I've ever had of your name. I'm really sorry. Of Johannes. And yeah, it's going to be really, really weird not seeing the Ferraris. We didn't see one of the Ferraris last season. Nearly throughout the whole season, it was King J, who will be driving in the Renault this season alongside Cam, who is returning to Renault, the only man to actually stick with his team and with the tier he's in. But he is very disappointed that he didn't get picked by the top teams, and he did say that he wants to beat the top teams because of that.
Yeah, let's wait to see if he can actually do this. Should be doable. I mean, Cam isn't a bad driver, we all know this. He even won a race last season in Canada in a good way. And yeah, Cam finished the season P8, so he definitely can show a bit more. And maybe his goal will be fulfilled.
I mean, it will be great for him if it is fulfilled. So, I'm not going to wish him any good luck or any bad luck, because as we know, the commentators' curse is real here in Podium tier. So, I might just not mention him at all.
So, the first driver out on track is Cam, so what a coincidence it is. And yeah, should be interesting to see what the Renault driver can do, and he's out on a soft tyre.
Yes, he is. Maybe he's trying to get a banker lap in, but his teammate King J actually in the lobby. We saw him last time in Vietnam, but throughout the rest of the season, he wasn't quite... Well, he wasn't usually there on track, because of his attendance, and he did lead the Vietnam Grand Prix for a short amount of time. I'm not too sure how long it was for, but we saw a glimpse of talent from him, and we could be seeing maybe a team that could fight for the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, I think many drivers will have an eye on the Constructors' Championship. I will just go through some names. So we have Liam, we just mentioned it. We have Dexter, who's also focused on the Constructors' Championship. He thinks he has a good teammate, and in 4th TC13. So jumping to Alfa Romeo, and I think these two have a good team. Will build a good team. I think Dexter as a consistent driver, and TC who has some unfulfilled potential, because I still remember Melbourne where he really had a good pace but bad luck prevented him. So I think there's more to what we've seen in the season.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. Dexter and TC, as you said, not the best of seasons last season, a bit disappointing from the two, but we did see those glimpses of talent from them, and I think they could really fulfill their potential here this season.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to some of the guys. So yeah, but now there's the first lap from Cam. It's a 1:04.2.
Yes, a solid lap time from for the Renault driver, and TC slots right behind him as SD Mass goes fastest. Currently he's on the soft, but now Rich goes faster. The other Racing Points, so the Racing Points really showing their worth here tonight, but both on the soft tyres, and I wonder what their tyre allocations were for tonight.
Yeah, I think will be quite interesting to see. And just a little mention to Racing Point. I think their goal this year is to improve their consistency, just like they mentioned in the team's press conference. And I do think this will be possible with these drivers.
I don't think so. Well, I doubt they will go to the highs that the Racing Point of last season did. Pizza Parker and Cowboy Key really squeezed everything out of that Racing Point, and they managed to win both championships. Yes, they did, both championships. Yeah. I just had to double check that. So I have a feeling that they'll be still up there, but maybe not as dominant as the Racing Points were at the end of the season.
Well, I think we should find out what is going on for Racing Points. And I just saw the task that Rayman went fastest in Sector 1. His Sector 2, however, wasn't the best, but it's still enough for pole position, because the final sector was actually great, and he set the fastest sector there.
And I just wanted to mention Rainman with a big step down, from going from the highs of Ferrari to the, I want to say, lows of AlphaTauri, as AlphaTauri were nearly last in the championship last season, 8th to be exact, on 19 points. So he'll be looking to improve on that, on the last year's team, with his teammate James Dovey, who is in the pit currently.
Well, I think AlphaTauri has the big goal to improve. They have to improve. But another team which has to improve their game is McLaren. And they have also got a brand new lineup of Astronauty 04, a Finnish driver, and VER Kelvin from Portugal. But his teammate is here, but he's still in the pits. So he will wait, or he's now actually leaving the pits. What a great timing. And both premium drivers, and both new to this tier, I believe.
Yes, they are, if I believe. So yeah, the McLarens, I'm not sure how they'll do this season. I didn't see much of the two drivers how their pace is. So we'll definitely see that this race will be a learning curve for the viewers and for us, the commentators. But another team that I wanted to mention is the worst team last season, not saying that they are the worst drivers this season. It's Lawrence D and Fleiss. I think that's how to pronounce it, I'm not sure.
Yes.
And again, I didn't see much of these two. I'm not sure how fast they are, but they'll prove their worth here in podium tier for sure.
Yeah, and they have a clear goal, and I think Swills has the goal to improve from last season. They took a big gamble with their driver's choice, but they will see if it goes right or wrong. And if it goes right, I think they are the goats of the season, I believe.
Yeah, they might be. And the last team that we will have to mention is the Haas team. And their lineup for this season is SWFC Jordan and Nicky. Nicky is not here with us tonight, but Jordan is. I think he might be on... I'm not sure what he's doing actually. 4-lap old mediums. He might be just learning the track a little, trying to rob it in to go on a fast lap on the softs.
Could be. It's I mean, there's still some time left, so it's not a bad strategy at all. Meanwhile, we see Kelvin moving up to P5, making a McLaren row 3 complete at the moment.
Yeah, but still Rainman on top in the qualifying session. Rich 500 in second, who is on a lap if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is.
Or else this is in lap. And now coming up to the last few corners, a double right-hander where we saw Lando Norris use scenario 7 on the last lap. And now coming up to the last bend, DRS wide open. And what will it be? 1 minute 3 flat, and
wow.
That puts him on provisional pole position. And this also beats the precision tier lap from last season.
Wow, good job there by Rich. It seems like he really stepped up his game, and this is good to see. And yeah, it's also good for Racing Point to see that their gamble might be worth it.
Yeah, potentially the two drivers putting in a lot of work in the off season to try and improve to their maximum potential, and it's really working for them currently. P1 and P3.
Yeah, not too bad. So I'm currently on board with Vitinho, the black Mercedes. Does look like an improvement at the moment. No, it doesn't.
No. The other Mercedes of White Fountain is on an outlap. He will be starting his flying lap. It will be very interesting to see from the really experienced driver, of course, probably the most successful driver here in podium tier. And now he's getting a little bit of slipstream from Dexter. So I will be keeping my eye out on him.
Also a little mention to Lawrence D. He's currently P2. Good lap by the Williams. Vitinho moves up to P4, beating Mats. But can he respond? The first sector wasn't an improvement. The second one... It is. The second one is a tiny improvement, but not enough. But already some astonishing times already. I think this is what we wanted to see. And Mats moves up to P4. So he beats Vitinho again. Also,
and now White Fountain comes up to line P7. A bit disappointing in my opinion. I mean, it's really close up there. 6/10 off of pole position. From a season 14 world champion. I would be expecting a lot more.
Yeah. I will have to move to Jordan for a moment. He had the fastest Sector 1. And he is improving in Sector 2. So I will keep an eye on him. Is it enough for a good lap time in the top 10? So we come around the final corner. Okay, no track limits issues. He will come down to the line. Will be P2. Good lap.
Brilliant lap from Jordan. And a very clean lap. I have a feeling if he wanted to be more aggressive in the last 2 corners, he definitely could have gone a tenth or 2 out of that. But keeping it clean, getting a fast lap without really exceeding track limits. So, as I said, brilliant lap from him.
Yeah, Dexter moves up to P13. But it's crazy to see the gap to P1 and P13 or just is within a second. And you could maybe count Dovey in the AlphaTauri, but he just misses out in the 1 second mark.
That is very true, and now Rich 500, he's at fastest sector 1 time, beating it by half a tenth. And now coming up to the sector 2 split, what will it be? A really short track this is. And he doesn't improve, he goes just slower than his last lap time. And now coming up to the last 2 corners, double right-hander, and I think he gives up on the lap. Yes, he does. He goes into the pit, and he will probably go for a last flying lap at the end of the session.
Yeah, and I have an eye on Flies. He's improving the 2nd sector, and he's online. And he's also now in the 2nd mark. Wow, that's incredible. 1 minute 4.002. Good lap. I'm just amazed on the gaps. I really am. That's amazing.
Yeah, the margin is really short here. In podium tier, like 1.1 seconds separating P60 and P1. It's a little bit like Formula 2 in real life. It's just really close, and sometimes you never know who's going to win.
Definitely, and that makes the things more interesting. And also TC, who is currently on the lap, is improving. Let's keep an eye on the Alpha driver. Oh no, he gives up. So that's another lap wasted. Bettina will start his lap. So the Mercedes driver...
Going a little bit wide there, but keeping it in the track limits, luckily for him. And now to the run up to turn 3. It's a really important traction zone, especially while overtaking. His teammate, White Fountain, did say that he is concerned about turn 3 and how easy it is to lose the traction there. And now, going up to sector 2, the really fast swinging corners, and with the double left-hander going in 5th gear around 200 kilometers per hour. Sector 2 split, he goes a tenth faster than his previous lap time. Now using as much of the track as possible. He is in 7th gear, going up to 8th gear now to a double right-hander, and he pits in.
And Vitino gives up. Well, but the timing will be a bit closer with Senior, I believe, and I don't know if the timing is actually that good for him.
Well, I don't either, but we know it's a really short lap time, only 1 minute.
Yeah.
So it could be really close, but I have a feeling he will be able to get in that timer.
Yes, so I think now it's time to start the final laps here in qualifying. 2 minutes remaining, and now it will be interesting and to see who will be on pole position and who will start in the front rows. A little bit of a lockup for Mats, but he's actually improving a bit. He's driving at 15.7 on the first sector, which is nearly on par with the Haas, and he's a bit faster than his teammate actually.
It's really close margins here. And now coming up to sector 2 split, what will it be for him? Will he go any faster? Yes, he does. And it's 2/10 of the fastest lap time of Rich 500, his teammate.
Which has
Now,
actually lost a lot of time.
I'm coming up to the last corner. What will it be? Locking up in the last corner. And it's P4 for him, 1 minute 3.3, 1/10 faster than his previous lap time, and only 1/1000th of a second behind Lawrence.
Well, that's a bit of a shame, but I believe that little lockup has costed him a bit of time. Meanwhile, Rich is going for his second lap. First sector wasn't good. So who's also like Rayman is on a lap, but then he isn't, so he will do another one then. Astronaut is out and he's lost it after turn 1.
Yeah, quite an easy place to lose the car there, as you're trying to carry as much speed as possible. As Tribe leaves the session, might have been an error for him. He'll be trying to get back into a session as both McLaren drivers retire from the session. Who is on a lap? TC coming up to the end is not looking good for him. He did improve in sector 2, and he does improve 3/10 slower than his previous best.
So Rich has done this lap and was an improvement. And we had, I think it was Lawrence who was invalidated his lap, but Jordan is still in the lap. And Tribe has came into the right moment. We will explain that rule a bit later on.
White Fountain jumps up to P5.
Good job there on the Mercedes. Second sector doesn't look too good. Oh, it actually is an improvement, but he's still not quicker than his previous lap time due to the poor sector 1. And now, no! He's invalidated his lap time. That will be Rich on pole, I'm 100% sure, because Liam also gave up his lap. Rayman, yeah, TC might be on a lap, but is it an improvement? No, it isn't. He also gives up, so that means Rich will be on pole, and also King J validated lap, so no proper lap time from him. Well, what a qualifying was then, huh?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. Vitinho just jumped up above the White Fountain at the end, but it's another pole position for Racing Point. We thought it was going to be all over for them, their dominant era, but I guess it isn't. P1 and P4 from the Racing Point team, really great job from them, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's maybe their 4th consecutive pole position.
Okay, now I'm not so sure about that.
Because I remember going back to Vietnam, they had pole position there. They had a pole position before that, so that makes it 3. They might have a 4th one, but that's just showing how dominant they are. And if you could run us through the grid.
Yeah, just showing the results here. So we have Rich and pole, then Jordan P2, then Lawrence, Mats, Vitinho, White Fountain, Rayman, Liam, TC and Cam on the top 10. And there you have the rest of the grid. And King J the only one without a lap time. So not a good start to his Renault career. But of course, the qualifying isn't there to score points. Therefore, we are now going to the race.
It's definitely going to be an interesting one. But Rich did say that he wants to gain positions on lap 1 in his pre-race interviews. I don't think he'll be doing that today because he is on pole position.
Okay, that's a good thing to maybe ask a question if he even expected it to start on pole.
Yeah, that is for sure, as we're waiting now for the drivers to ready up, pick their strategies, and we will be on to the formation lap.
Yeah, and we can also use the time to speak about some rules for some of your people who might have forgotten some or maybe are new to this league. So, first of all, if you want to see more of this league, then please consider a subscription to this channel and put a bell in to see more of the upcoming races in the future popping up in your notifications. I can only recommend it because this season is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now to the rules. So we have a 2-stop race, a mandatory 2-stop. So that means the drivers will have to pit 2 times, otherwise the drivers won't be counted in the results. We have a license point system. I will just go and find a screenshot of it because I had the exact things. I think there it is. So we have points for certain actions. So a qualifying ban will give the drivers 2 points. A 5-second time penalty is 0.5 points. A 10-second penalty a 1 point. 15 seconds 1.5, and so on. And a race ban will mean 3 points. Plus a task system infringement would mean another half points addition. And a ready up rule mistake, so that means pressing a bit too early for the session to continue. So in a pre-race sequence, if you press the X button a bit too early, then you will get a penalty. This will also give you a half of a point. And if a driver earns more than 8 points, then they will be permanently banned, and there will be a replacement driver for his seat. Do you have more rules to cover?
No, I don't think we do, as the formation lap is nearly over. It's a really quick one, and thanks for informing the viewers about the rules of the league. And it's going to be interesting. I doubt anyone will get the race ban or else the disqualification from the championship. You only need to pick up 8 penalty points to get... Is that race ban? I think it is.
Well, I think it's a perma ban, if I read correctly.
Oh yeah, it is, but just before we start the race, I just want to mention our last sponsor, Next Level Racing, who will be providing stands for the drivers who win the Going Gets Tough award, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So big thanks to them for supplying us with the stands and giving us an opportunity to give to the drivers in one hub.
So thank you so much for the mentioning, and we are just about to start the season here in Austria. 17 drivers are ready to start the season 17 of One Hub Racing. The lights go on, and it's go time here in Austria for the season open. Who has the best start? Looks like Rich had a very good start. And look at the wheels of Lawrence. Also have done a decent start. He's only outside of the Haas driver. And there was some
that's White Fountain.
Oh, there's some more carnage. There's a yellow flag in the back. So we'll have an overview of it later. Lawrence made up 1 position. He's up to P2. Good start by the Williams. There's the Mercedes breaking a bit late. And there was sliding off a Towie. And Matt's dropping down P5. There's already the penalty for King J. And there's some battling in the back. There was a Red Bull going side by side from Alpha Towie. Oh, look at that. He's doing the Alexander Albon. He's going around the outside. And can he make that work? It looks like a really good move there by Liam there. And he's up to P8. Great move there by the Red Bull.
Yeah, a really amazing move, and quite an eventful lap 1. White Fountain and Cam getting caught up in an incident. And now they are last in the race. Now I see Matt's really catching up to Vitinho. Both of them in podium tier last season. But now Rainman on the outside of SC Matt for the next corner. And did they make contact? No, they didn't. And Rainman is in front of SC Matt.
Wow, good starting phase here for Rainman. Good starting phase for AlphaTauri. And I think they will definitely enjoying it at the moment. As we had a little timing issue again, you know, the bug. And yeah, a poor starting phase for Estimat. He's dropped some positions. And in fact, he dropped 2 positions. But the biggest loser, as I mentioned, because of a little tangle, is White Fountain. He's dropped 10 positions. Cam dropped 7. So an unlucky start for those drivers to the season.
Yeah, it's not the best way to start the season. Vitinho had a similar issue last season at Zandvoort. He got caught up in an incident in lap 1, and he just didn't really recover from that.
But now it's important for drivers to recover from this. They have a long season ahead. Okay, not too long, but it's still a long time until the season finale. And Rich is having the fast lap at the moment. And just to mention a quick rule here. So we have 2 different fastest laps. So one between the drivers in position 1 and 10. Then we have the second fastest lap between the drivers from P11 onwards. So we keep an eye on this. But at the moment it looks like Lawrence also really is not giving up on Rich.
Now Vitinho goes for a move on Jordan. Jordan tries to stick it round the outside, and he kind of manages to do that, but Vitinho gets the better acceleration of the corner, and that's Vitinho into 3rd position and Jordan out of the podium positions.
Good move by Vitinho, very, very important if he wants to have any sort of chance of winning, of course. And Jordan, I think he might try to stick with him. King with another penalty. He has now 6 seconds, which is pretty bad in the early phase of the race. And well, just as a quick mention of the tyre situation, so we have 3 people in the medium set, 1 person now in the hard tyre after a pit stop, and then we have the rest on soft tyres.
That is very true. Well, now Rainman went for the move on Jordan, and Jordan just going further down the grid. He's down to 5th, as now TC made the move on Estimat. Estimat's not faring very well this race. He's just also going down positions, but TC doing an amazing job compared to what he did last season, and it could be a really important season for TC.
Absolutely, and that is the thing we mentioned. He has the pace, but he needs more luck. Maybe now he will finally have it, but I mean, it's still early days. But yeah, we just have to wait the upcoming races to see if luck will be on his side.
Yes, it will be very important for him to have that good luck, but I'm not going to say anything about it because I'm going to give him the commentator's curse, whatever I say. And now I see Mats locking up into nearly every corner, and there's big battles for P5 and P7 in the race. TC goes for a move on Jordan down the inside of turn 3. It's where not to make contact here, but TC doesn't get the traction right on the exit of the corner, and that's Jordan keeping the position.
That's also the thing which was mentioned by the stewards, that the inside line of that corner is a bit difficult because of the amount of grip which isn't there. So the drivers have to be careful whilst passing the inside line, and I think TC was been made aware of on that opportunity.
Yes, he has, but it's really close up here throughout the whole grid. The whole grid nearly separated, well, not the whole grid, but the gaps between them are 1 second apart from Cam, who did pit in onto the hard come-off tyres. Will probably be going really late on into the Grand Prix and then changing for a set of softs. But I'm not the man to ask about strategies, and we'll see what he'll do.
Yeah, I can already tell you that according to my data, it seems like Rich has the better tyres, at least if you can trust these data here on TAS. I'm not 100% sure.
TC went for a move on Jordan, and Jordan down to 6th position, not the best race pace from him, down to 4 positions from his starting position, and it's not looking good for Jordan.
Definitely, and I think he needs to find his mojo to be a bit more competitive. Looks like Jordan is going into the pits, or is he? Oh, Lawrence has
Yes,
picked
he
up the
is.
penalty, and Jordan's going into the pits. And also a little reminder on the rule that at least the pit. Oh, there's the yellow flag. Just as a little.
Oh,
Oh,
that's.
that's Fly's retiring. That's a safety car. Safety car deployed. I think.
Oh!
What happened? I think there was a spin from Flies, and there was another spin in the straight.
Okay. I'm checking on TAS. I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure what happened.
Yeah.
I just need to check something.
Yeah. We've already got a lot more penalties, so uh,
Okay.
we've got White Fountain getting a 5-second stop and go. Oh, that's not good. Cam got a drive through, which is even worse. I wanted to mention that there's a rule stating that you don't have to pay that much attention to the pit lane entry because it is a dangerous entry, we have to be honest, and the stewards are agreeing on this, so the drivers can just drive the corner normally and then enter the pits. So, as an important note.
Thanks for the daily dose of rules, Johannes, but I did see Astronauty and Flies both picked up wing damage on lap 6, but I doubt they were both involved in the same incident. And now as we see, everyone's going into the pits, really busy pits, just like on lap 1, when we see all the mechanics rushing back to their garages. So yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't really many positions lost on double stacking. Well, maybe for the McLaren team, VR Kelvin now getting held back in the pits because Astronauty had to change his front wing.
Yeah, I mean, I've just seen with my little eye that he had wing damage, so yeah, Calvin will of course stay a bit longer there, and he's already out of the pits. And also an interesting tire choice because Rich went on softs, Vitinho on mediums, and Lawrence went on hards.
Well, yeah, it's really interesting. I'm just gonna check the data. It says that softs can last 16 laps, and I'm not sure if he'll be taking them that long because he still has to pit onto the medium compound tires.
Yes.
Lawrence, well, the two-stop strategy is mandatory here in one hub, so he'll have to pit in again, but I think Vitinho is the winner here in the strategies, as he is on the medium column tires. I have a feeling he'll go on another set of mediums at the end of this stint, and really important for him, he did jump Lawrence in the pits.
Yeah, and Matt's going in again, so oh, they're changing the wings, so that Matt must have had a wing damage as well.
Yes, it was actually under the safety car. It was probably coming out the pits.
Oh.
He accumulated that wing damage, but I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. And now he comes out in last position.
So, yeah, let's be honest. We have a race in point 116, so they're literally building the front and the end of this Grand Prix so far, which is a bit funny, I have to admit.
I mean, it's just a huge racing point sandwich currently.
Yes.
Taking up the whole field, and the safety car will be in this lap, and it will be important for Rich 500 to get a good start, and he has the advantage on the safety car restart, as he has the grippiest tires. Lawrence might get hindered because of his tire selection, definitely at the start of the stint.
Absolutely, and now which can control the speed, and the safety car is still in. It's driving on the final big straight, and now it's entering the pit lane. And now which I think he will accelerate, or did he? I think he did.
Yes, he has.
So
And it's a pretty good start from him. Sorry for cutting you in there. He did use overtake mode at the start. And Lawrence with an shocking start.
yeah, indeed.
Yeah, go on.
And Lawrence will need to find his motor there again.
Oh, contact! Liam and King J made contact.
Oh
King,
no.
One of them went for a dive down the inside. I'm not too sure which one it was. I want to say it was King J. Liam was around the outside and they just clipped tires and Liam spun around and now he's at the back of the field, so no longer it is a huge racing point sandwich.
Yeah, and look at Troy B round the outside of Dexter. What a try here from Troy B. He's doing the Albon and it worked out perfectly for Red Bull. It just fits so well. A Red Bull passing a car around the outside. So pretty good job there by Troy B. And now he's behind King.
Now he'll be trying to get revenge on his teammate, on King J, because of what happened to his teammate. And now will he go for the move down the inside? He has the speed, he goes down the inside. And now onto a run up to turn 1. Has he made the move stick? Yes, yeah. He has. Strybee cutting the corner a little, but he has to do what he gotta do. And he is up to 8th position.
Great restart there by Strybee. Went on the soft tyre, so you will have the advantage. In the beginning, there's the spinning Alfa Romeo. It's TC. Oh no! What a shocking moment there for TC. Oh my goodness me. That's unbelievable. Cruel luck there. And there's some more battling. Look at King J out the outside against Dexter. It's Dexter who wants to make the attack. Look at that, they're still side by side. Oh, look at that!
Oh, they made contact.
And the Renault with spun round. And that's King J dropping down the field. And now he's back near Liam. And he's in behind him. Also, Lawrence has been passed by Rayman. James up to P5 now.
Oh, thank God for ghosting, because we would have seen at least 2 T-bone collisions there.
Oh my, this would have been a massive crash there, I believe. And also Astronaut now behind Dexter. He is on the soft tyre, in comparison to Dexter, who is on the medium tyre. Look at Astronauty. No chance there for Dexter, and Astronauty gets a position. Great job.
And now behind them, White Fountain is trying to get past VER Kelvin.
Oh, look at Trybee. Good job there. Wow.
Trybee really liking this turn 5.
Yeah.
Or turn 4, I'm not too sure which one it is. He's been making... No, turn 3 is the right angled, because the hill is counted as turn 2.
Well, I mean, for me, it's personally turn 3, and I will stick it because I think that really isn't a corner. But anyway,
no.
So we are seeing some great drives here currently by the soft runners. Rich is doing his outstanding job and extending the gap to Vitinho by a large mile, and he hasn't even got a penalty.
He's doing a great job. Rich is not accumulating any wing damage. Well, now the battle for the last podium position is between the 2 AlphaTauris and Lawrence. Could Lawrence be close enough to make a move on Rainman? I don't think he will be. Rainman, of course, not having DRS on Vitinho. He's just outside that 1 second mark to get that DRS, which is really hindering him, and he could potentially lose a position to Lawrence or maybe even his teammate, James.
Yes, and James, he might be a bit happy at the moment because he's beating both Red Bulls as it was his personal target, as I read in the previous interviews. So James, he might be a bit happy at the moment, beating the factory team, as I like to call it, but the brother team then, Red Bull. Not having a good race so far, but I mean, it's still far from over.
Yeah, now he has the DRS on Lawrence. I don't think he'll be close enough to go for a move here at turn 3, or else, as Johannes says, turn 2.
Yeah.
and he is not close enough. He shows himself in the mirror to try to pressure Lawrence as he
Oh!
loses attraction a little, and he's lucky not to be hitting the wall there at the exit of turn 3, but he just lost all that momentum he had, and we see a lot of tire marks there going up to turn 4 if all the locking up the drivers have been doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue, the locking up because of pressure. I mean, those drivers are pretty competitive here at the moment. We have a very competitive field here in Austria. So I think lockups are definitely possible on such a short track.
Yes, as I just wanted to mention, my statistic was wrong. It wasn't 4 consecutive pole positions for Racing Point, it was actually 5.
Ah, that was close then.
So, an outstanding amount of pole positions for Racing Point, and Ridge 500 right now just doing a favour, keeping in the lead as the people behind them fight away.
Yeah, but I think now Bettina's catching up a bit, so maybe now the soft tire is actually a bit gone. And we see a move from Fountain against Kelvin, now against Dexter. He's on the inside line. Will Dexter defend? He will. Oh, look at them side by side. And Fountain has made the position. Good job. But there's the McLaren of Kelvin there. He had a look, but he didn't make it. So, yeah, he won't make the move now. We see Jordan getting a penalty.
A wise move from Kelvin. I don't think it would have ended well for him if he decided to go around the outside of the Danish driver.
Yes.
But now James Dovey, he's looking for a move on Lawrence D. He's really close to the back of Lawrence, but the DRS really saving the Williams driver currently. And now will he go for a move?
Oh,
yes, he does with a late dive bomb. They make contact. But now on the exit, James Dovey doesn't have the best acceleration. Lawrence probably keeping that P4. And now Tryby around the outside of the sister team. And that is Tryby up into P5. I didn't even see him. He just came in like the flash to take that P5 position from Dovey.
I mean, wow, that was good from Tryby, just waiting for the opportunity to get bumped past. And he did, because James actually went for the gap. I mean, fair play, he tried it, but it didn't work out that well. And now James has to come with a different solution to pass Tryby and Lawrence. At the moment, Lawrence really seemed to struggle with the tyre.
Yeah, that is very true. I'm not sure if that was the best strategy call, but now Tryby, he is ready to pounce on Lawrence when he gets the opportunity. But as I keep saying, that DRS train really saving Lawrence, because if not that DRS, I don't think his hard tyres will be doing such a decent job. It's not really a good job, the hard tyres, but I mean it is keeping him in P4, and I mean the driver is the only one who knows what he is doing with the strategy, and I mean it's kind of working out for him currently.
Yeah, he is going P4, and he's not the slowest there, let's be honest, but I think the call on hard tires at the moment is pretty risky, because the hard tires take a long time to have the big effect, and maybe will come, but I think until then the rest will have pitted for a better tire. And there's James coming in.
Now, interesting strategy call from him, and he could be going to end now, because I think it's his second stop. Yes, it was. So, if he manages to nurse the tyres, he will go to end, as now Tryby goes round the outside of Lawrence to make the move to P4, and it could be potentially a podium for the Red Bull man. It will be an amazing, well, comeback through the field. I'm not sure where he started.
Oh, there's all. I just want to cut in there because there's some amazing battling here in the positions 6 to following. And look at the Austria teammate upper position now. White Fountain is coming back against Jordan. So Jordan really could make the most out of his qualifying. And this will hurt it badly as Astronauty comes in and Tryby gets a penalty.
That's not really good for Tryby, but he did go up 10 positions from his starting grid slot, which is an amazing comeback through the field, if I do say so myself. And now Rainman will probably be trying to get ahead of Vitinho, but further down it's Jordan and Kelvin battling for P7. They're still going side by side, both have the RS, both with overtake mode engaged. Now Jordan, will he go for a dive bomb? No, he doesn't, but Kelvin nearly hitting the rear end of White Fountain. He had to lock up both his tires to avoid contact, and it was really close between the two of them.
What a lock up there from Kelvin. This really doesn't help the tire at all, and in fact will make the tire wear even worse, which is coming in for his pit stop. The leader is pitting, and this looks pretty dramatic.
Yes, it is. I just wanted to mention it's getting really cloudy here above the Red Bull ring, and maybe there could be a little bit of rain at the end. I'm not too sure, but heavy clouds are over the skies, are in the sky.
Oh man, imagine if it would rain now. And then Lawrence would be in the right tire.
I mean, that would be a pretty crazy scenario, but now Rainman, will he go for a move on Vitinho? He looks for it, Vitinho left him the space, they make contact. Well, Vitinho retains that position, Rainman thinks the better of it and sticks behind him. And Traby is just watching it with popcorn in his hand, a cup of Diet Coke in his other hand, just watching them two fight.
Yes, indeed, and this will be an interesting fight for sure. But I think in the future we will see the soft runners maybe going in for the pit stop, if it really isn't going to rain then. And yeah, we also have the battle between Red Fountain and Kelvin maybe, and Jordan, Dexter. Don't forget Dexter is also in a fight, and this should be pretty interesting as well. Same goes to James Dovey, who has pitted for the medium set of tire, so he needs to get past Liam. We'll just switch to the front again. It's getting a bit close there.
Yeah, it really is, but the drivers are really stuck in a DRS train at this point in the race. But now James Dovey goes for a move on Liam, and that's him up ahead of the sister team and up into a P11. But Liam is not the one to back out of fights. Now he tries to go down the inside. James does leave him the space, while Liam stays back. And is a successful overtake from James.
So Raymond is pitting. So he's the next one. And Lawrence also pitting. Okay. I would have expected a bit of a longer stint from Lawrence, but well, he didn't. Okay.
I have a feeling Lawrence is just covering off the potential of an undercut from CSGB Rainman. As Rainman comes out in traffic right ahead of Liam RBS and right behind James Dovey.
Oh, now I need to be tactical. So will he leave him the space?
I think he does. Yeah, very respectful.
Absolutely.
From the two teammates, I completely forgot about that. Rainman on the faster tyre. So James does the right thing in my opinion and lets his teammate pass.
Yep. Fair play to them. And we see some more battling going on. Oh my goodness me. That was really close there.
Kelvin was actually taking the normal line into the pits,
Yeah.
which was nearly caused a collision.
Yeah. I mean, the stewards have mentioned it. They can drive the normal racing line. So, yeah, that's a bit weird, but it's not my case. And it's Jordan losing position to Dexter now. Lawrence with another penalty. Wow.
Well, maybe that was maybe hidden genius play. Maybe he tried to slow down the two drivers via Kelvin, trying to get an advantage on them, if you know what I mean, by slowing them down into double right-handers.
Well, I'm not excluding it. So, yeah. Well, now we see Vitinho pitting. Now it's getting important. Where will he end up? So yes, the early, but he got on the wet tire, so it's a soft tire for Vitinho. Oh, this could be interesting.
12 laps to go. They should last that amount, but I have a feeling they'll be really worn at the end. And ST Matt's doing an amazing job currently on his worn hard tires up into P4. He was, of course, in last position at the start of the safety car period.
And Tryby makes the move against James, so Tryby, good performances so far. Oh, James nearly losing the car. Now he will have another one to defend. It's Vitinho on the soft. And
yeah, it's really close now between the field. We have to wait for all the pit stops to be done to see where they actually stand. But surely White Fountain will be going into pits shortly, but Dexter gets overtaken by Jordan.
I think there was a lag.
That was just lag. I was about to say what happened to Dexter, but it was probably just lag, as I did see on the screen that Jordan passed Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, and we see Tryby driving the fast lap of the race, so he really is on a charge. And here we want to watch. Meanwhile, we have Vitinho and James having a huge battle. Look at the waves of Lawrence. Look at that.
No, Vitinho defending for his life against Lawrence. Do they make contact? Yes, they do. A little. Is it 3 wide? No, it isn't. James Novi stays back a little. Vitinho with no DRS now. He'll be trying to defend against Lawrence, who is up his inside. But he will try to hang around the outside. He doesn't. He thinks the better of it. He makes contact with James Dovey. And James Dovey, he will sit back. And he's down to P10.
Well, that's a very intensive battle here. So no one's giving up here. And just a quick thing to mention. Rayman really is on the pace. He's driving some quicker lap times than Rich. And Rich is coming closer to Matt's. So I could imagine some team playing here. So Matt's will give him the space, so he will give Rich the space. Then he might play a bit with Rayman. But meanwhile, there's Web of Tryby. Oh my goodness me, where did he come from?
I'm really not sure. The Red Bull's just lurking in the background, it seems, in the race. But he goes for a move down the inside. And will he make it a move 6? No, he doesn't. Rainman now on the outside. He doesn't have the DRS, unlike Tryby, and Tryby will stay ahead. While Rich 500 overtakes SC Mass for P2.
But that lockup was a bit unnecessary. So the tire will be a bit more shredded in the moment. So now I can imagine this scenario I've just presented might be coming true for Matt. So he might play the blockade so that Rich might be able to win.
He does a half spin. Tryby goes down the inside. They make contact.
No. Oh, but he saved it. It's not over yet, but yeah, it really did went well, I guess. But Matt's really close to losing the car.
I'm getting mad flashbacks from Australia last season, where we basically saw the same thing happen. This time it was Pizza Parker or else Rich 500. He was behind SC Mats or else Catboy Key. SC Mats was on, Catboy Key was on worn tyres. And he was defending for his life against the two Mercedes in the back, which is kind of happening right now. And the philosophy in the Racing Point team hasn't changed a lot.
Yeah, I guess so. But this will make things even more interesting. Look at Mats, he's really driving some, yeah, let's say a bit difficult lines there, so he's really struggling with this set of tyre.
Yeah, according to my data, they can go 26 laps, and I don't think that's the most accurate. I would chop off around maybe 6 laps from that, maybe 20 laps, and he's really close to that 20 lap mark. But he is staying up with Rich 500 as he does lose traction a little. I might have jinxed it for him, gave him the commentator's curse. Now Rain Man going for a move on ST Mats.
Yeah, he's through.
And that's Rain Man through, and Rich 500 will now have to deal with him.
Yeah, and there's also a thing, Raymond has a 3-second time penalty, so maybe Rich will drive a bit more calculated.
Tribe goes for a move on ST Mats. He doesn't make it stick, but it was a very audacious move, very opportunistic from the Red Bull driver, and he doesn't make the move stick. So he might have just lost time there, as we see now Vitinho really close to the back of him. ST Mats stays out.
Yeah, I think Mats will continue to drive on. Look at that, now it's Tribe's chance. Look at that, he's going for the inside line. And this might be the move for Tribe. Oh, the little corner cut. Mats still defending. And now Vitinho's coming into play. Where does the guy go? I think he goes to the outside line. It's Vitinho's chance to gain P4. No, it isn't.
Well, now Tribe goes for a really big dive bomb.
But does he make it? Oh, we've got a disqualification for the King J. And it's trying to make the move work.
No, and great overtake from Tribe. Great dive bomb. Remind me of Daniel Ricciardo back in the Red Bull.
Yeah, right.
So it was a really great job from Tribe, and now he's at the back of Rain Man. But they both have time penalties. Tribe 12-second time penalty.
Yeah. Well, that's getting a bit more interesting.
Noticed that.
Oh, look at Vitinho. It's really close to Mats. I think there was a little collision that might give Lawrence a little bit of a chance. Look, Vitinho is going outside line of Mats. I think that's not going to work. Oh, look at that. That's pretty close.
Oh,
that's the wing gone.
Lawrence.
That's the wing gone for the Williams. That's not a good sign. But Lawrence is still making a move against Mats. Look at that. He's ahead. Oh, look at Vitinho. They've made contact.
Vitinho,
and that's the Alvatari making contact as well. And that's James also losing part of his wing, I believe. Yes it is. So James also the big disadvantage now. Oh dearie me. But now Lawrence will have a big task.
Yes, that is very true. SC Mats, the Estonian, with some really good defending, but not good enough for the likes of Lawrence and Vitinho. Lawrence with a double overtake there, going into turn 3. And just an amazing job from him, and we see him back into P4.
Yeah, but I mean, with the front wing damage now, he will be easy target for Vitinho. And that's James losing positions because I think he's... Oh, yeah, he's coming to the pits. Oh, look at that now. Vitinho's going... No, he's not going for it here. But maybe now in the straights, if he has got the perfect exit. Also got the battle Tribe versus Rayman. This could also influence the race win. Vitinho is going for it. And he's through.
Oh, he cuts off the switchback. Lawrence tried to go for the switchback, but we saw Vitinho covering it up. So great defending from him. And now Tribe is ahead of Rainman. And this could pose difficulty for Rich 500, at least on track. Maybe not in the end. But with 4 laps remaining after this one, it's going to be really close.
Absolutely, and I think This will make things for Rayman even more difficult. He needs to stay in the DRS train of Tribe to have a chance of winning the race. And then, if he might get ahead of Rich, he needs to get a 3-second gap. This is intense stuff.
It definitely is, but unless some big contact between Tribe and Rich occurs, I don't think Rainman will be getting this. He is losing time to Tribe, but the DRS is really helping him out. Tribe's still outside that DRS range, and of course Tribe's tyres will also die eventually. They'll fall off the cliff at the end of the stint, so it might not be so jolly for him.
Yes, and I mean, the tyres will be a huge factor here in this race, and I believe these soft tyres need to die soon, because the soft tyres can't just last for the whole rest of the distance. I mean, Tribe's tyres are 8 laps old, so there should be a time where those tyres are dying.
Yeah, that is the case. Just as Vitinho's tyres, he's not catching up that much to Rainman, but his tyres will also fall off the cliff soon. But White Fountain going on the move on SD Matthew is still on that hard tyre. I'm not sure why, but White Fountain could potentially even get the podium here with penalties applied.
Yeah, but he needs to keep it clean, and he needs to get a bit closer. He has a real chance. So the Mercedes driver really consistent here. And look at Lawrence, he made a little mistake. That might be Fountain's chance. Astronauti gets his penalty, and that's Astronauti gone. Astronauti has left the circuit. That's Jordan now making the move against Dexter. And Jordan is a P9, Dexter is a P10 again.
And now some great fighting between the two of them. Maybe a solid midfield battle to look forward to this season.
And look at Kelvin.
Kelvin trying to get the move on SC Matthew is on really wearing the hard tyres. I mean, it would have probably been better for SC Matthew to pit in, but who is that going slowly?
I think that was Astronauti.
Astronauti, yes it was. As he does have wing damage on the left front, and he just can't turn in, he goes into the pits.
Yes, and there we have the move at the front. That's Tribe going for the provisional race lead. And he does. Tribe takes the lead. That's Rayman. That's Rayman coming. And look at that. Rayman goes through. And now he is theoretically P2. And if it stays like this, I think he will stay P2. Because of the penalties from Tribe and the non-penalties for Rich.
Yeah, Rich now, he just knows he just has to stay in that DRS train and not lose 12 seconds to Tribe, which I don't think is possible. But he can't let Rainman get out of that 3-second range for him to maybe even snatch the win.
Yes, and I will just have a look into Kelvin. He's still behind Matt, so the time is running out for him to make the move. He has 2 laps to go to make it, to maybe get P7 or even more because of the amount of penalties the drivers have. So that's interesting.
Yeah, but back at the top, we still see Rainman trying to go for a move on Tribe, because it's always nice to win on track rather than on penalties. He doesn't go into the slipstream, but he goes round the outside, and Tribe, I think he just lets him pass.
Well, I don't know what that was, but either he realized he could fight him, or I don't know. But the thing is, Tribe got passed on the corner. He passed most of the people. So nice coincidence here.
Yeah, it definitely is. As Tribe, yeah, that corner was definitely his. We should rename that corner the Tribe corner, as CC gets the fastest lap time.
Yeah, just some bit. Oh no, there's a race pull off. That's the ST Mats. He has a puncher. He has a puncher.
Oh, I told you it's gonna happen. Puncher on the final lap of the Grand Prix, and ST Mats is into the pit, and that is the racing point out the points.
Oh, that's a big shame. But the risk was maybe worth it. There is Switch, the other race pod going for it. On the inside line. Very careful indeed. Oh, there's Vitinho there.
Oh.
Be careful, guys. Look at that Vitinho. He is in P4. He could throw everything completely out the window. He's not going for attack. We're just looking up. But the race isn't over yet. Vitinho is still there. He has a soft tire. It looks like Rayman will win on track. But at the moment, which is the provisional winner?
That is very true. And I found that he could even go up to second position if he's lucky, maybe third. But Vitinho is still at the bottom of Rich 500, but I don't think he'll be close enough. And now, coming up to the last bend, it's going to be Rainman winning the Austrian Grand Prix. Podium tier in one hub, winning the first round on track. As Rich 500 takes the actual win after penalties were applied on 16 lap old mediums, keeping the Racing Point winning streak alive. White Fountain in second and Rainman in third, keeping that podium place. VR Kelvin jumps up a huge amount of positions, up to fourth. Vitinho in fifth, Tribe in sixth, Jordan in seventh. After a disappointing Grand Prix, he started on the front row of the grid. Lawrence, after probably not the best strategy call, he finishes 8th, Dex Extra 9th, Liam RBS 10th after contact with King J, Cam 11th, James in 12th, SD Mats after a really late puncher, really unfortunate for him, he finishes in P13, Astronaut in P14 and TC13 with the fastest lap of the session in P14. 15.
Well, what a race it was, man. I really can't believe the end was really close between all those guys. Driver was the driver of the day according to the game, but I'm just asking you, who is your driver today?
My driver of the day, well, it must be Rich 500. He kept his cool, even when he got overtaken at the end there by Tribe and Rainman. He didn't fight them too much, even when Vitinho was going for the move. He just had a cool head and he managed to nurse it home and get that win.
Yeah, good job there from him. What about your question?
My question is, as you mentioned it before at the start of the Grand Prix, did you even expect to be on pole position? Because in your pre-race interviews you said you wanted to gain all positions, which didn't happen as you were the man in front.
Yeah,
and who is your driver of the day?
Yeah, I just want to say it. For me, it's also Rich. He had a pole last season. He came back, took pole, and took the win after the penalties applied. And my question simply would be, yeah, how did he prepare to get this sort of result? Because, I mean, no one expected it. So, really, my question is, how did he prepare for this season opener?
I don't think we're allowed to pick the same driver of the day.
Yeah, but honestly, I can't think about anyone else. So
I'd say Tribe. We need to make a corner after him.
Ah, yeah, yeah, that's true.
Tribe with some amazing overtakes today, but the penalties really hindering him. He got 12 seconds, one of the most in the session, apart from King J, who got disqualified because of the amount of penalties he had. So I think the second driver today will have to go to Tribe.
Well, I mean, you know, you have a difficult call here. I mean, of course, if you look at the race, you will say Tribe, but I'm looking at the overall picture, and I think no one expected Rich to win the race. So that's why I picked him, and I think I can also understand why you pick Tribe, because he really did a superb race.
Well, yeah, I would have picked Rich 500, but we can't pick the same person, so I sacrificed myself. I picked Tribe, but no offense to him, he still had an amazing race and he showed his worth. But just those penalties, he has to really work on the track limits in the off season. Well, not in the off season, but between rounds.
Well, I mean, you know, the thing is with Austria, I mean, we've talked about the risk of getting the penalties is pretty large. So, well, that's kind of to be expected. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I can say the race overall was pretty damn awesome. And I can't wait for the next race, which will be in Bahrain in 7 days. Do you have anything more to add?
No, not really.
Right then, I think then it's time to end the stream. Thank you so much for watching, and I would say I'd advise you to switch to the next tier, which will be Precision tier, and I think we will definitely have a lot of racing action there. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and also again a little mention to the 3 sponsors: so Next Level Racing, Liam RBS, and Vespertine. So thank you very much, and of course, keep up with the league on Twitter or on YouTube for the upcoming races. So subscribe here and ring a bell for the upcoming races to be in the notifications.
Yeah, make sure to like the video if you enjoyed the race, but if you want to sign us off now, if you have nothing else to add.
Yeah, I think it's time to sign off. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon for the next race. So bye.